Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Tyra.
Ooh,
We're back.
yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We left y'all high and dry last week, and it was necessary. I can't even stunt. Like, I feel bad, but like, it was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need a break from y'all.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like,
kidding.
every weekend we have something. Like
Every weekend.
it's like if it's not someone's birthday, it's like something else, or like a wedding or a baby shower. Like, it's just always something in the summer.
Not even in the summer, just in general, because I feel like we were like, oh, yeah, it's Pride Month. All right, after Pride Month, we're going to be good. We're going to be solid. We're going to be chilling. We're going to be saving. We're going to be... Nah, ain't none of that happened.
None of it.
None of that. We still been on go. That's not going to work for me.
No saving.
Just
Just kidding.
Literally.
Saving, but spending and
micro saving.
Yeah, figuring it out, honestly.
Little by little, I guess.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't see it, she has her Preciosa night shirt on.
I do.
Shout out to Eden and Jay.
It's
they get married this upcoming weekend. I believe their wedding day it'll be the 29th. Yeah, but shit. Shout out to Eden and Jay. Congrats.
We got invited to the wedding, but the way the bank account is set up, we're not rich. And yeah, we said, we did so much in June that it was like, all right, we can't travel. And then we have plans to travel again in September.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things really close to each other, like back to back to back. Mm-hmm. And like, we can't keep neglecting our fur babies. I'm pretty sure they would love to be emancipated. They do not like us. They like to sleep in our bed though.
And I hate it. Truly.
I love it, but it's just like, why on my side?
Because they know that I don't like that.
Like I'm a whole person
it's
myself.
Just like it's just too hot. Like, it's like I sweat in the nighttime, and I feel like you're always hot. And we even have a fan, the AC be blasting, but it's like, this is not a king size bed to be sleeping with us. And I'm just not a fan. We already know this though.
Our parenting styles are different.
Oof, God bless.
But you know that
they be rolling around in the dirt and the grass, eating shit. Like, if you have a dog, you know how disgusting they are, right?
Yeah, so are children.
But children are not that dirty.
The only difference is that when you take them a bath, it don't take them that fucking long to dry.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure.
The only part.
For sure.
Milo is easy. Like our Yorkie, you just blow dry his ass and he's done in like not even 10 minutes. Bruno, however, that's a whole day's worth.
Oh my God, it really is. And he has so much hair.
He does. Sometimes
shit gets stuck on his hair. Like, I'm telling you, it's really crazy out here.
You really got to pick it off. Anyway, that's nasty. You got any updates?
No updates, really. I'm trying to think. Life is just so busy, man. Like, I feel like I want to get back into Patreon and doing all of that, but I'm focusing on like personal stuff, professional stuff, Trying to get my money up.
Career goals and shit.
Feel me?
I feel you. I feel you. You want to be my sugar mama, and I'm for it. I'm here for all that. I hear cha-ching. Yeah. Give it to me.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, only one could wish, right?
Right.
Because it ain't going to be me.
All right, so let's get into today's episode.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners left a comment, and I'm going to go ahead and read it. And we decided to kind of just focus the episode on this specific thing. So they said, do you guys have any advice for going through seasons when you necessarily don't like your partner, or you guys aren't really on the same term and page and keep getting into dumb arguments? My fiance and I are kind of going through that right now, but I still know she is the person I want to do life with. It's just really hard to want to be in this right now.
First of all, I saw that comment and I was like, I love this. I love this because I feel like it kind of correlated with our recent, like, prior episodes, especially with last episode when we were talking about how, we were in that uncomfortable situation and we tried something new and communicated about it. I'm all for learning new ways. And I feel like this is a common thing where people are in relationships where they're like, I don't fucking like you right now. Like, right now, or sometimes it's just, I don't like you ever.
That's tragic.
That's very tragic. I know, I mean, it's no secret that when you first start dating someone or, talking to someone and it's a new relationship, you're in the honeymoon stage. Emotions are heightened. It's like that euphoric era in the beginning stages of that relationship, of forming that relationship. But I also think like it's a lot of it's like a false picture painted in the beginning because it's just all you give each other, all the like great things that bring joy, happiness, and excitement, and that isn't sustainable over a long period of time. Like, I feel like obviously like that honeymoon stage phases out, whether that's in a couple months or within the first 2 years, it happens. And I think like once that time period comes where you're realizing like you actually start seeing the person that you've been dating, and that's when you kind of have to like really look at them and be like, wow, like this is you for real. Like it's no funny shit. Like I don't think it's, not that you don't think it's cute anymore, but I don't know, it's just a lot of like, do I want that in the long term?
Yeah, like reality hits.
Yeah, right, exactly. That shit sets in and you're like, damn, do I actually like you as a person now that this era of like excitement has faded?
Right.
And eventually like you're gonna get to a point where you're just like, I don't know, like you're kind of pissing me off, like you're kind of irking me. Everything they do is no longer really cute. It's actually like it's bothering me. But it's just like, where does that come from? Is it actually the person bothering you, or is that like a self thing that you're dealing with? And I feel like we get that a little bit confused.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think like you have to be intentional with your relationships. I think after you get out of that honeymoon phase, everything has to be intentional if it's really what you want and if that's the person that you want to be with. You have to, that whole, you have to continue working together, and you have to build communication. You have to, you don't just learn each other once and that's it. You have to continue learning one another and continue teaching one another, so it doesn't stop. Like it's going to be continuous amount of work, and you kind of just have to be okay with that and open with that.
Yeah, and I feel like to go back to like the honeymoon stage talk, I feel like during the honeymoon stage, like you see this person in such a good light because they're on their best behavior.
Yeah.
It's like they're making such a good impression in the first few months. Like it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. You see them for the most part being happy. But I feel like once, that relationship starts getting serious and just life hits you, there's going to be stages of them being mad or being annoyed. And like you see this other side of them and you're like, oh shit. Or being like emotional. And I remember when we first started dating, I always saw you in this like happy light, like always trying to be the life of the party, always be in the life of the party, just like happy. And I remember that when there were days where you weren't your happiest,
sociable.
I was like, does she not like me anymore? Like, or like, is she being an asshole because she wants me to leave? Like, I feel like I have anxiety. Obviously, it's not that diagnosed, but I would ask myself those questions like, am I wasting my time here? What's going on? Like, I wish she would tell me. Yeah, and I would be like, what's the drama with you? Like, what's good? Like, And she was like, nothing. And I'm like, are you sure? And you'd be like, nothing. Like, and it was because I never seen that other side of you. Mm-hmm. So it was just like so weird to me to see that, because it was like night and day type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while she was like, that's weird. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, and when she had mentioned that, I took it offensively.
Why?
Like, offensive in the fact that like, I feel like I don't know how to say this, but like, I'm not allowed to have a mood, you know? Mm-hmm. Not that essentially I was having moods. It's just some days I'm sociable and some days I'm literally just chilling. Like, mm-hmm. I don't want to be that extroverted person. And sometimes, like, I don't have an explanation to why I just feel womp, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of there. And I think when you would take, how do you say that? Like, you would have just like this idea that something's wrong with me.
Like, I would take it personal.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And it wasn't like I don't know. I think in the manner of it to you, you had already this like preconceived idea of, oh, does she not like me? Is mm-hmm. she like, why is she being an asshole? Like, it was.
Yeah, because I'm really big on communication, and I was just like, if something's not right, like, I feel like she should speak up type of thing. Like, that was my thing.
Right.
So that's why I was like so confused, because I'm like, what's the drama?
Yeah, but it's also within the delivery of like, it's not like, oh, like, what's going on? Like, you're a little unusual. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Nah, your way of attacking that is like, what's up with you? Like, why you being weird? You know? And like, that shit's like, what? That sometimes that shit.
It's the Jersey in me.
I'm saying though, but sometimes that shit come hella sideways. So mm-hmm. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, what's weird? And like, I could understand how you didn't see me in that light. Also, because when we were in our dating phases, like, I was going to her a lot, so I was in her environment, mm-hmm. and with her living by herself at the time, like, it was me and her. So obviously, you know, I'm different. I'm more like excited, happy, you know, one, because I don't see her all the time, two, because it's like, you know, we're in a bonded state, you know, mm-hmm. Compared to like going home and her coming to my house where 5 of the people live in this house, and it's like a lot of just disoriented shit going on. Mm-hmm. So I think like me being at home in my environment, it brings out the, I guess, aggression in me.
Yeah. And like, I feel like this is why communication is so important, because I feel like my perceived idea was, we're in her space, we're her people, so she should be even more comfortable because we're in her space, you know? So,
and me being comfortable was me being in my aggressive state, because that's how I am. Like, that's how we are as a family.
Yeah, and I wasn't used to that.
Yeah, and she was like, this is delusional. Like,
I'm like, what's the beef? What's the drama?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I think like for a while we had a hard time understanding like those differences. Like,
you guys do, like, I feel like you guys have like that tough love, mm-hmm. and I feel like my family does, but not really. Mm-hmm. Like, we spoke about this, like our parents, your parents are more like hardcore, like they'll tell you what it is. Mm-hmm. My parents are more like soft spoken, like very lovable, very like nurturing, and just like, I don't know. Yeah. So I was like, oh damn, like it was just like also a different environment for me, but at the same time I still felt comfortable, so it wasn't like a big deal, you know.
Yeah. But all in all, we've come a long way from that. She still be asking me why I'm moody though.
No, because I want to know like what's on your mind. You know, I feel like sometimes when you ignore your partner being in a bad mood, it's just like, sometimes I feel like you're making it worse. Yeah. Because you're ignoring the fact that they're in a bad mood, you know.
And I feel like I've done that with you as well, where I'm like I guess I try to be on my P's and Q's. Dot my I's and cross my T's. In terms of like keeping shit together and like staying up on certain things, because obviously like I don't want it to feel like you're doing anything alone, and that I'm just like oh, well, just because you did it once doesn't mean you have to upkeep and continue, like, you know, playing your part. But sometimes I sense your energy too, and I'm like, damn, like, she's not her delightful self today, you know? She's not her chilling and like,
what's my delightful self?
Like, you got a million and one things to tell me.
Oh, really?
Like, you get chatty when shit is going on. Like, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you wouldn't fucking believe. Like, and I'm just like, all right, let me buckle in because this gonna take a while. But I think for me, it's a sense in our communication because, you know, you could be around me, but you can be unpresent when you're around me too. So I feel like I try not to base it off of that anymore, of like your physicality being with me. I base it off of like, how are we communicating? Are we talking a lot today, or are we not talking at all today? Like, that's when I'm like, maybe, you know, something's bothering her, or because I mean, that last time when shit happened, you were like annoyed. You could see it in your body language and everything too. Like, when she's annoyed, you can tell. And you know, you like shut down, like, where it's like you don't want to talk, or your conversation and your response is short. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, all right, something's not it. Like, if she's not upset, something's bothering her. And I think it's natural for us to always think that if our partner is upset, it's because of us. Yeah. So I think I'm very like guilty in the fact that every time something's wrong, I think like, oh, what am I not doing? Which isn't the greatest thing to do. But I think that that's when I'm like, let me ask her, let me see. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm not going to know. And if I'm going to continue building this storyline in my head, then that's not good for neither one of us. And I think that that's how like that shit happened last time, where it kind of, we like were fucking, you know, rubbing each other the wrong way off of what we thought, how one another was, like, the energy one another was giving in our fucking heads. So I think we do better from time to time.
Yeah, but all in all, like, I feel like my happiness and your happiness isn't dependent on each other. And I feel like sometimes you just have a bad day. Literally, like, sometimes your morning was shit, and then that results in you wanting to be in a bad mood. But like, I always tell myself, like, make it a good day, like, no matter if the morning started bad, you know. Yeah. But I had read something, because before we had mentioned, like, you, like, sometimes you may feel like your partner doesn't like you, like, do they hate me, like, what's going on? And if this has ever crossed your mind, like, you're definitely not alone. But basically, there's something called negative sentiments override. And basically, it means that you guys have like unresolved issues, and it has caused your partner to basically see everything you say or do in like a negative filter. And it could just feel like, you know, you're pretty hopeless, and you're just struggling to see like the positive future of you guys, you know. And like, for the listener who left this comment, what I like that she said was that she said, that's my fiance, and I still she's still the person that I, you know, want to do life with. And I feel like that's super important to know, because I feel like the person who feels like you hate them probably is like, are we gonna break up? Like, what does the future hold, you know? So it's a total, I guess, like a really normal feeling. And in our last episode, not last Monday, but the week before that, we had talked about how we had to have like a tough conversation. And in that moment, like, Jojo was feeling like I hated her, right? Yeah. And I was in a stage where I was still upset about something that had happened, and it still wasn't resolved. And I feel like in that moment, what I could have done was tell you that I needed like some space, but that I was going to come back. Because I feel like that feeling of unknown is what really drives people crazy.
Yeah. That like state of I don't know where we lie and like what our stand right now is a really uncomfortable position to be in, because you at that point, like, you're running through like, okay, so are we moving forward, or could this be the end? And now you're running through all the processes of like, fuck, well, if this is the end, like, what does the end now look like without this person? And it can look like a million and one things. And we did say that the topic of that conversation was basically like, you know, people break up and that's fine. Sometimes it's mutual and that's okay, you know? You're not gonna die. You're gonna get through it. And most times it becomes a positive thing.
And I feel like a lot of people always assume that people break up because someone cheated. And I feel like most of the time that's really not the case. It's kind of like a mutual thing.
I just think how it's so like, if I could like plug up my brain to a computer or a monitor, a TV, something, just so like you could see the shit.
What? So you could see what though?
Like the things that I be thinking. And I just be seeing, because I'm like, this is crazy. Like, for years, people have lived in this mindset, in this way, right?
What mindset though? Like, what are you referring
to? Like, if you think about the old school generation, like our parents, where they're like, gotta get married, settle down.
I low-key feel like you have sometimes like that old
I do.
school.
I have a little bit of it,
but like you're coming with the times.
No, she's trying to come for me.
No,
I think it's good to have a little bit of both, a little bit of old school and a little bit of modern.
Yeah,
because I think they balance each other out. Because I feel like that there's a part of modern, like that modern mindset is that fuck everything. If it's not working for you, dub it.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's too much.
Yeah, it's just like you can't fucking throw everything away when it's not. When the one thing isn't working for you, or you can't figure out how to make it work. Yeah, you know. So I think that's where the old mindset comes in. Is just like, no shit, you know, you gotta fucking work a little bit. Yeah. So I'm like in the middle with that. Which was another thing we've got through. But I think, like, when I think about some of the old shit, or like the ways, like for my dad to tell me like, yo, I never thought about it like that. And to think like now all of a sudden people have this sense of awareness about mental health and you know, certain relationship shit, and how communicative people are becoming now in their relationship, and like all these things that I just feel like before wasn't thought about, or wasn't like known or exposed that much, you know?
Yeah, I feel like boomers and like older people, they're very complacent. Like it's like they're okay with like living a miserable life. Like if you're not
now you coming from my peoples.
No, like it's like they like to be secure. And I feel like the new generation, they're a little wild. They like to be free, you know, they're having thruples and having multiple wives. Like, you know, they're just being free, and that's fine. I feel like you said you gotta have a little mix of both, because there's certain things that I don't agree with the new generation. For example, this is totally off topic, bro, but yo, like sometimes I work with some people and I could tell that like they just graduated college, and just like the work ethic is tragic. Let me tell you, like Gen Z, they're like, I don't know what it is, and like I know some of y'all listen to this, but you guys are so hilarious. Like,
not hilarious.
No, they're hilarious. Like it's like and I get that too, because you know, capitalism, who wants to work 9 to 5 every day until they die? That's ridiculous. But sometimes I do feel like they lack a little bit of the work ethic, you know, and I could tell because of just like the way that they act, the things that they say, just everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the other stuff. But to go back to that term that I was talking about with the negative sentiment override. Like, if you sense that something's up, I feel like you have to talk about the unresolved issues. And you have to really sit there and have a conversation that doesn't get into like a heated argument. And I was looking at tips and it was saying to like keep criticism, defense, and stonewalling out of the conversation. And stonewalling is like when you're there, but you're not there. It's like you're listening, but you're not responding. You're not acknowledging them. And I feel like I tend to do that when I'm like over it.
Dismissive as fuck. I'm gonna air you out right now. Hella dismissive, bro. Hella dismissive. Like, I almost wanted to like in the car, just fuck it, take us off the road at this point.
Oh, don't be crazy.
Yeah, I know, that was wild. Nah, but hella dismissive. I might as well be talking to the fucking wall. I could be talking to the dog and they would talk to me more than her.
Oigan esto.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was too much going on at once, and then you were driving, and I feel like we were literally two opposites. Like, you were on this side, like definitely trying to talk, definitely trying to get your feelings out, like wanting to solve it, and I'm like on the other side where I'm like, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm getting dizzy. Like, I can't. I need to breathe. Someone like stop the car.
I definitely could have stopped the car.
Well, now we know. And yeah, just focus on their feelings, like listen and understand. And I feel like sometimes people listen to talk back instead of like really listening to like understand what they're saying.
You're hitting a lot of things that I'm about to touch right now.
All right,
we might have the same. I did some of my research too, y'all. You know, from time to time, I get a little researchy, but it's not as organized and as perfect as Dyra.
It is not that organized. I just try to summarize it, but tell me about yours.
Anyway, so it's kind of a lot, and I'm going to try to keep it in because she kind of mentioned some of these things already. So, but if you want to read the full article, I have the website for you, which is called celebrateagain.org. The topic or the title of that article is, wow, where the fuck did it go? Oh, feeling disconnected from your partner. Bum, bum, bum. Ooh, not me clicking shit. So, let me not lose it. All right, so the beginning of the article starts off by like basically saying what it is to be disconnected from your partner. Like, what does that look like? How is that? So it says the truth is that feeling disconnected from your partner is a reflection of the disconnection you feel within yourself. This disconnection arises from various factors, including unresolved emotional trauma, unmet needs, and a lack of self-awareness. When we fail to address these internal struggles, our relationships suffer as a result. When we feel disconnected from ourselves, we cannot connect with others because we don't even understand our own needs and desires, let alone how to communicate those. This can often lead to a lot of disappointment in relationships and lack of desire to continue the relationship. How do you feel about that? You think that's like, do you agree with the idea of like when you're disconnected, it comes like it's stemming from you and not?
Yeah, I feel like it could be a little bit of both. It could be like your personal issues and struggles, and that always like goes into your relationships and affects them. But it could also be the relationship.
Yeah, that part. All right, so I have a list of some like examples of signs, I guess, of what that disconnection would look like. The first 10 is like emotional signs, and then I have like another 10 that are just like regular, flat out, just I guess, I don't know how to say it, but regular signs.
Okay.
I'm just saying I got a couple. So the first one is lack of communication, which I feel like we've already talked about. Just not feeling comfortable or being open to express yourself and, you know, the state that you're in and what you need to pull through, like, with your partner. Number 2 is absence of intimacy. It says physical touch and emotional connection can become rare or non-existent, leaving both partners feeling distant and disconnected. Listen, you don't have to be the physical touch type of person to show some type of like embracefulness to your partner. You know, I feel like just something as simple as like a fucking forehead kiss, you know? Yeah. It's just the thought of like, wow, you know, I know that's not your love language, but you're thinking about me. Thank you. Like that sense of consideration, you know?
I give JoJo a kiss every night before bed.
If she remembers.
No, she's lying. And if I don't, that means I'm just annoyed.
And then wonder why I could never tell. It's a work in progress, y'all. Number 3, unresolved conflicts. Persistent unresolved conflicts create a sense of emotional distance and hinders the growth of emotional connection. It can often feel like walking on eggshells. Y'all heard that here before. I hate that feeling of walking on eggshells. Like, let's fucking talk about it.
But why y'all walking on eggshells?
It's not even
just walk.
No.
Okay, go. What?
I should make you kneel on rice.
My mom used to make me do that.
It's just like, because you don't want to like further push the issue. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't want to fucking make it a bigger deal. Like you're trying to get to a solution. You're trying to get back to a leveled space with your mm-hmm. partner, not I need to fucking egg you on type shit and piss mm-hmm. you off. So that's where like the walking on eggshells. Like I'm trying to wave my white flag here and you still want to be an asshole. Cool. Cool. Anyway, where was I? Number 4, feeling alone even when together.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah. Because you feel a sense of isolation and loneliness even when in the presence of your partner.
So this one I struggle with because I feel like I work from home. So it's like sometimes I'm really trying to focus and I never close my door. Mm-hmm. But it's like I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you, but it's like, oh my God, I have so much work to do.
I feel like I'm just I feel like I'm just an extra dog that can talk.
Stop it.
You're laughing, but there's times where I'm like, is she in a meeting? Or like, let me at least make sure she's alive. Like, I swear I'm not clingy. Uh-huh. I promise. But it's just something about, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's me and her in this space where I'm just like, and like my work schedule is different from hers. It's opposite of hers. So it's like the days that I'm here, it's like I'm here all day. Most of my friends are at work. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm home during regular people's work hours. So I'll be like, all right, well, I'm going to just kick it with her. And then I'm like, well, fuck. Like, she's working. Like, the fuck?
I feel like it's like bittersweet, honestly. Yeah. The whole working from home thing, because it feels like you're always working.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think you know how to like it's hard to like differentiate what time is what because you work from home. Now you mm-hmm. leave this room. Now what happens when you leave this room? Because it's like you can't leave work at work because you work from home. Uh-huh. So everything's like intertwined. So yeah, that's a work in progress for you.
It really is.
Number 5 is decreased empathy and understanding. I feel this shit heavy. Yes. Decreased. That's what it says. Decreased. Oh, okay. Empathy and understanding. Like
these are
you
signs.
No longer, uh-huh. These are the emotional signs. Like you no longer give that sense of like just I understand. I think that I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that this is for everybody. I'm just saying in like my personal experience that I understand like the whole like I guess holding your partner to a higher standard. Mm-hmm. And with that standard, I feel like there's like a certain type of expectation also held for your partner to, you know what's acceptable or unacceptable or what you like and what you don't like. And just like so many different things that I feel like it's like your partner doesn't deserve slack or something. I'm not talking about in sense of no grimy shit, but like we're regular people. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. You know, sometimes there are going to be things that like we're not always going to agree on, and that should be okay. Like instead of being like, what the fuck? Like, why are we not on the same page? Mm-hmm. How about we sit here and let me understand your why you see it that way, and get to the same page. I don't feel like, I don't know. I just feel like we place too much of shit on our partner that it's kind of not fair. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why could you be understanding and empathetic to other people, but you can't do that to the person who's like everything for you, That's just my take. Go ahead. You could disagree.
No, I agree. Okay. I mean, but I do feel like sometimes it could be the other way around. Like I have straight friends who would forgive their boyfriend 100 million times for being an asshole and cheating, but their friends, it's like you miss one thing and it's like you're fake. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it could be both, because some girls really like take back their man like 100 million times, but if you wear the same outfit as them, it's like it's some drama. You copy it, like it's like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I won't go as far as cheating. If that's something you want to understand, okay. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, even things lesser than that, it seems like people give their fucking partner the torch. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just like, come on, be realistic. Be like, if anything, your partner needs you to be just as much or even more as understanding and empathetic with them. Yeah. In the same way that, obviously you're going to give in return. Number 6 is loss of shared interest. I feel like that's pretty normal. That happens, I don't know why that happens. It's like you share this interest and then you stop, like, I don't know. I don't want to say like keeping up, but like you stop giving in to those interests. And instead of like forming new things to get into, and it's okay if you're not into things together. You can have some things separately and you can have the things that bring you guys together. But it's just like, if you're over what it once was, create some new interests. Don't get comfortable. I don't like the idea of being comfortable, because then it's just like, what are we doing? That's when you're in that state of thinking like, well, are we like cool? Are we not cool? And then that's when fucking relationships end and you're like, I didn't see it coming. Like
be real.
But yeah, like continue, getting into new activities and, getting into things that allow you to be present with your partner. 7 is emotional avoidance. Both partners avoid discussing deeper emotions or personal vulnerabilities, leading to a surface level relationship lacking emotional depth. Ooh. You shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody that you can't be vulnerable with. Or that you're not, I don't want to say that you're not comfortable, because I feel like there are some people who, considering their background or anything that they went to, not everyone is very comfortable with being openly vulnerable. But I feel like I don't want to say the right person, but essentially with someone, there's always someone for someone, right? That puts them in the position to be like, all right, I want to practice that with you. Mm-hmm. Practice it, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Number 8 is constant criticism and defensiveness, which I was just talking to her about earlier, which I got defensive about the whole her calling me out, talking about some why you being moody type shit. And that was more so because of like, and sometimes I do feel like, oh, like, is that like a bad thing? Because, criticism, obviously you immediately associate it with negative things. And it's okay to be in to be able to tell your partner, like, maybe not in the harshest way. You have to find the proper tone and the proper verbiage to be like,
I wasn't harsh though.
Girl.
I could have been like, you're being a bitch.
I would have kicked you out. Number 9 is emotional neglect. You're just not meeting each other's needs. And I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, this is what I need. This is what I want. I need more kisses. And then you're like, no. Or you just fail to fucking uphold. All right, well, I'm just not going to do the shit you like then. Last one is trust issues. I think trust issues is like top notch, number one type shit. All right, so I'm gonna run through like the other signs that I had that were not considered emotional. One was decreased quality time. 2 was loss of interest and excitement. 3 was lack of support. 4 was avoidance of deep conversation. 5 was emotional. Yup, don't know that word. Volatility, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
Man, I'm about to ask Siri.
Literally.
Oh shit.
You gotta make her speak. That's what I'm doing.
Volatility.
Yup, yeah. Volatility. Number 6 is increased focus of individual pursuits. Number 7 is absence of future plans. 8 is decreased physical affection. 9 is indifference towards each other's needs. And 10 is feeling emotionally distant. Again, y'all, if y'all want to read this article as a whole and think like, it'll be beneficial for you to run through, you can go to celebrateagain.org. To end my spiel, I'm going to give you another quick rundown and their tips for reconnecting with your partner. And if you also want to read that whole article, you can go to regain.us. This is a long URL.
Just put it in the bio, girl.
Put it in the bio, right? That part.
OMG.
So number 1 was prioritizing communication, which most of this, I think, once you go through all the signs, it's obvious. Like, communicate, be present, be interactive with your partner, and be open to understanding and empathetic and all the things essentially that you want. I feel like we want people to give us slack and then can't give slack to others. That's none of my business. But anyway, number 2 is expressing gratitude and appreciation. That's a fucking big one. That goes a really long way. I think that's basically like giving reassurance, showing that appreciation and gratitude to your partner. Because, boy, you be saving me. Number 3 is practicing compassion and empathy. 4 is make time for fun and play. 5 is practicing self-care. 6 is developing stronger spiritual connections. And the last one, number 7, is therapy. Therapy. Which
is becoming more normalized now.
Yes, as it should. As it should. Because you know what? Honestly, I haven't been to therapy. I've been considering it. It's just, I think the hard part is actually finding someone who works for you.
Yeah.
I think that is the challenging part. But I feel like so many people have thought about it in a negative light too. That they're like, oh, I don't need somebody to tell me about myself. And it's like, no, but you do. Like,
right.
You need someone outside who doesn't already know you. Like, I feel like when we go to our friends and we tell our friends,
just tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, we want them to validate us.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm not the friend to always validate what you're saying.
Same.
I play devil's advocate. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's so tragic. Really.
Yeah, she hates it. And it's not me invalidating what your aspect or perspective is. I understand it and I hear that, but it's just like on the flip side, how about we try this shoe on, Like, there's so many angles to see it. And I don't know, I guess I don't like the idea of stepping on people's toes either. So I think that's why I'm always trying to see everybody's way. But again, that's none of my business. So I think, like we said, going to your friends, it's like they're going to validate and you want them to tell you that you're right. But it's like going to someone who doesn't know you at all and you have to, like, run down on them and give them the whole shebang about yourself. It's like a fresh take on who you are. Like, oh shit, I didn't see myself like that. Or, oh shit, like I didn't think about it like that. It just sheds light on things like you didn't see from a different perspective. That's all.
For sure. So I had, I feel like we talk a lot about like communicating. And, like, what does that really mean? And, like, what questions do you ask? Because I feel like it's so easy to say communicate. So these are some questions that I found that will help you reconnect with your partner. So number 1 is there anything I used to do that you love that I don't do anymore? So these are questions that you guys can ask each other. Number 2 is, what's the number one cause of tension or disconnection in our relationship right now? Number 3 is, how can I be a better partner? Number 4 is, what dream of yours could I support you with, and what would that support look like? And number 5 is, what kind of date night activities could we plan to experience more joy in our relationship? So I'll try to have those in the bio as well. And I feel like we talked a lot about like these little games that we had where you like ask questions from this brand called We're Not Really Strangers, and then the other one is called The And, I think. And they have like some really good questions that I feel like if you're not getting deep with your partner, it can definitely help. Like if you just bring the questions, have a little date night, cook at home. Even you could bring them out with you, go to the park, whatever, go to the beach. And those are the questions that we used when we first met. And I feel like that's why we got close so quickly, because they had some really good questions.
Literally shit that you don't think to ask.
Yeah.
Like when you first start dating, you got those, funny, cute, superficial like questions. That's like hella surface level. But I think when we were running through those questions, I was like, oh shit, like that's something I got to think about for myself too. Like, I don't know how to answer that right now because I never thought about that. Like, let's get back to that.
Yeah.
So I think that that's cool. It's like you kind of learn yourself as well as learning your partner. Because we change too, and it's like we should be taking time for ourselves. Just like, this article was saying, like sometimes we're like that. Disconnect is a reflection of our disconnection from ourselves. And I feel like when we're a little bit lost in what it is we want to do or what it is we want to accomplish or what it is we want our home and our space to look like, when we're in that mindset of confusion, like it reflects onto your relationship. And it's like, if you don't communicate that with your partner so they know the state that you're in and know how like you guys could stay connected in that time, you're gonna get to the point where you're like, I don't like you. But it's not unnormal.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a fucking word, but to be in a state where you're like not really fucking with your partner in that time, it's like fairly normal. That don't mean go fuck around on them though. I'm not talking about none of that.
Yeah.
Now y'all just started fucking. All in all, everything in a relationship has to be intentional. You either want it 100% or you don't want it at all. That's my take.
I agree.
That's it for the topic, y'all.
Yeah, let's get into the family meeting.
I didn't pick any questions, so
we're just gonna pick a random one. All right, you're getting too random, but okay. Like she picked the last one. Like we got so many people who've been waiting. Pero vamos a ver. I can't see that.
I'm gonna try. Met my wife on TikTok. Everything moved fast, and we got married in less than a year. She moved me and my child where she is, which is far from all family and support, and just randomly woke up one day and said she no longer wants to be married, that she wants a divorce. Now I have to start completely over from square one. She seems to be happy now, and I'm silently falling apart. What's the best way to get over a breakup / divorce?
Yo, every day y'all kill me with the questions, and not so much the question, the story. Like how you go?
People really be
to
bold.
move across God knows where with your child, and then your wife wants to be like, yeah, it's not working for me. Let's get a divorce. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like marriage is not something to be taken lightly, because this divorce shit is too much. Like, I'm confused with her. She seems happy now. So it's like, okay, so she woke up one day and said, I want a divorce. And when she said that, she was like all giddy and like, oof, life is going to be so great without you. Like, what?
No.
Like, what does she mean by that?
Maybe that they just finally like, broke up and she's been watching her or something. I mean, that's what I took from it.
Oh, okay.
My thing is,
People are crazy.
Yeah, like that's wild. That's bold. Y'all really gotta listen. Everybody's time frame is different in terms of like,
oh, the marriage thing or whatever.
Yeah, marriage or how long till you move in together, this and that. We are all on our own type time, but all in all, it's just like you can't give like the one person all the power. There has to be like equal compromise, equal everything, and you have a child, so that was like a real big stretch. The fact that I don't want to say like the fact that she could convince you to leave with your kid, but it's just like, why would she even suggest let's leave your home where you do have support, where this child needs the support of surrounding family, and let's just go where I'm at. Like, you're not the one here with the kids, sweetheart. So why do I gotta move my shit?
People be selling you the world, though.
I know. I'm sure.
So it's like they were like in the honeymoon phase for sure. When they met, when they did the whole marriage, they moved in together. Like, it sounds like it was so early because she said less than a year that they were both in La La Land. Yeah. But I feel like at the same time, you gotta listen to your gut sometimes. You can't just go anywhere, especially if you have a kid. You gotta move. They gotta go to a new school. Like, it's like, how does that look like? And childcare and all of that. Like, do you have help with that? And like, I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I just feel like there's a lot to reconsider.
Yeah. But the best way to get over that's hard. I mean, there's no quick way, to be honest. There's no quick way to get over any breakup, to get over any divorce. I was reading this thing where it says you go through phases and stages of grief, like when it comes to like breaking up with people. I mean, I think that's with grief overall, but it applies to the same because essentially that's a loss too, and you're going to go through all those phases. Just it's kind of the inevitable. But I think once you become like, you acknowledge the phases that are going to come and you accept them, and just be like, you'll get back to yourself and it won't hurt as much. But there's no quick way or like real answer to be like, how do I get over it?
Yeah. Time will heal.
Except the fact that it's over.
Occupy yourself with like healthy habits. I feel like sometimes when people go through breakups, like we said before, they get into things that aren't the best. Like, they'll start drinking a lot or smoking a lot, or even going to the gym a little bit too much, going on crazy diets. Like, it's like, be surrounded by friends and family and those you love and those who make you feel good, Focus on yourself, read books, watch movies. Like, do things by yourself, Go on a walk, go to a little cute coffee shop. You literally have to romanticize your life. And that's so cliche because I feel like everyone says that nowadays, but you really do, because that's your life. Go to a park with your kids, spend more time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more.
All right, second one. I've been involved with a girl for 7 months and it doesn't seem to escalate to anything further than us doing relationship things with no exclusivity. How long is too long to date a girl before cutting it off? Okay, tell me your timeline, babe.
No, because now one gets married in less than a year and then the other one's saying that they've been together for 7 months and nothing's happening. Time is ticking. 7 months is a long time. Like, I would be like, so what are we doing? What's the plan?
I asked her to be my girlfriend in 3 months. Did y'all know that?
Was it 3 months?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, like, I mean, everyone's on their own timeline, but at the same time, I feel like we're adults and 7 months is just too long.
I think at some point,
maybe the cutoff point is like 6 months for me. Because if you guys are already doing relationship stuff, sleeping over, going on dates, like cooking, doing all this shit, buying each other gifts, like, it's like, that's relationship shit.
I was talking to somebody I was dating somebody for like 7 months, and I initially didn't. It was because
You were playing games.
Yeah, basically. Like, I really didn't want the relationship to be official. And then eventually I gave into it because I was like, fuck it. Like, it's just not like I'm really seeing anybody else. So I was like, all right, whatever. Like, this girl didn't want to, like, she would not let it go.
She would not let what go?
Like, she was set on, like, I want to be with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be with you. And then I was just like, all right, fuck it. Like, where else I'm going
to go? She forced you.
No, I won't say forced me, but, you know, it was what it was. So,
but that's also annoying.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to ask you, what are they?
Yeah, right. But I feel like when people do that is because, first of all, I feel like to a certain point, you kind of already know if you want this person or not. Like, after, like, honestly, for me, I stopped talking to people after 3 months.
What do you mean?
Like, after the 3-month mark if I know that I don't want to be with anybody, period, I'm just like, all right,
You're cutting them off.
I'm cutting them off. If I feel like entertaining it a little bit longer, I could push it to the 7-month mark, but that's with the idea of you knowing that I don't want a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change.
That's the thing, that people think they're going to change your mind.
Yeah.
And like, when someone tells you something, believe them the first time.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But the other thing is, like, you could also ask her out. Or is she giving you signs of, like, I don't want to be with her?
Yeah, like, what does that look like? Is it just like, maybe it's like
nobody's
I'm waiting on you, like
nobody's making moves?
Or is it literally like she was implying, like, I don't want this
to, like, she could have said, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Tragic. I mean, listen. When people string people along, like, the longer it takes, the more hurt they're gonna be at the end. We have a personal friend going through some tragedy like this.
I just think, like, if they didn't want to officialize it, it's because they want to keep the door open to other options.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a lot longer for them options to roll in for them. And that's why they choose to keep that door open. Because once they're like, all right, you know, maybe another option rolls in, and then they're like, I don't like this option, like, I like her, so let me just dub that and I'll go back to her.
Yeah.
But only you know what's long enough. Obviously, you know, because you're questioning it. You are, at this point, you already know you want more and you're not getting it. And if you know you're not going to get it, then what's the point of staying?
Yeah, you got to cut it off.
I wish you the best of luck. I hope that changes for you.
Same. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Give our podcast a rating. We got a lot of downloads. We got mad downloads, and it's not matching with, like, the rating. So I'm a little confused.
Show some love. It's for free.
For free.
The hell? But yeah.
Bye.
Deuce, mother goose.